see Kirsten Sinema's newest picture?
No.
It is her like sipping out of a sangria very obnoxiously and wearing a ring that says "fuck off." Because
I think I did see that because she has like anime girl, the early 2000s energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know what her goal is here. If she's just trying to court Republicans who are like fond of her small ownings of libs or what.
It just makes me mad because I really like her style.
Yeah.
And I just want her to stop being that white girl TM.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of us elder millennials, please stop.
You're making it for the rest of us.
Yes, seriously though.
Don't put this on John Ossoff. That man will not pick like a paisley suit. That's like Richie Torres's line, and I don't think that's what he wants to do. So
yeah, keep the focus on those representatives who are always named Hunter and probably went by Cunter at their flat.
I love it so much. I love that at some point someone has looked Hunter Biden in the face and called him Cunter and then said chug.
Yeah, was smurred off ice.
Oh god. Hey Cunter, you got iced, bro. Anyway, welcome to Gaslight.
Oh no!
Yeah, I guess we have to do this. I don't know. I'm Dusty Wilson.
I'm Una O'Leary.
Both of us are going to live forever. And do you know why that's going to happen? Because we are vaccinated to hell and back.
Yeah, well, half vaxxed for me.
Oh, fair enough. I'm lording my one-shot death vaccine over you. It's great. Yeah, I got the J&J. You got the Moderna?
I got the Pfizer.
Ooh, fancy.
Because like a L'Oreal product, I'm worth it.
Yeah. I think that speaks very well. I will say the J&J surprised me. It reminded me a lot of those shots you would get when you were like 7 or 8, where it's like, here's 15 cures in one shot. And it just like, you could feel the pressure in your vein when they just pushed everything in. And it's just like, oh, that feels like it's working.
What shots were you getting at that age?
No, it's like the mumps, rubella, measles thing where it's just
I had no memory of that. I was a baby.
Yeah, I had like a dreadful fear of shots to the point that they traumatized me for a long time. So I think I might be exaggerating in my kid brain.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I mean, clearly because they were giving you the full like sangria effect.
Yeah, here are the 8 things that used to kill everyone your age 30 years ago. Have fun.
Here's a Long Island iced tea of dead cells.
All right, this is a very important question, Una.
Yes.
What old-timey disease is the triple sec of that Long Island iced tea?
Oh man.
Because like polio's tequila, I think.
Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to think of what the options are, like mumps, rubella, like
polio.
You know, it's just such a joy that we can completely forget them.
Yeah, you know what?
Thanks to the efforts of science.
I'm going to say scarlet fever, not because it's the lesser of all diseases, but I'm just going to diss scarlet fever on air. Fuck that disease.
As you saunter off to the woods for the next week.
It's great, yeah. So that is a good segue here. I am going to be going to the woods for a few days to get away from society.
That's right, folks. Dusty is finally writing his manifesto.
It's great. That manifesto is going to get written. I'm going to write it on bears, and it's going to be great. But yeah, I'm eschewing technology as my forefathers before me did because they didn't have the option. And so the episode that we're recording now, you're probably hearing it on a Monday, and that's why, because I've been in the woods, and then on Monday I will return from the woods. Like I don't know, what's like a woodland Moses type. Everyone I know who comes out of the woods in the past 20 years have not exactly been endearing figures.
No, it's not a great look.
It's all right. I'll bring it back. I'll bring kindly woodsman back to the fold.
I'm into this. Reclaim the wood identity.
It'll be great. I'll smell like legalized weed and blueberry wine. And
oh God.
It'll be
woof.
Yep. It's gonna be awesome. On that note, Una, oh my God, this episode. So on the Twitter machine, I kind of alluded to the idea that we might be doing an episode based on California politics. What I had planned to do was do a whole episode on the 2003 California recall election, and I did a lot of research into it. And weirdly enough, for something that was so ridiculous when you and I were growing up, is so technical and really boring to begin with. Like, it doesn't get good until the election starts. Everything that led up to it is technical and weird and is involving a lot of study. So I'm making that a long-term one. We're going to get to it before Gavin Newsom gets recalled, because a lot of funny shit happened during that election. I think it's important to remember it, especially because I think we both remember it as just crazy bullshit.
I barely remember it at all. Like, if it happened while we were at college, I was in just a little dome of patchouli and early necessary identity politics and occasional like unwanted nudity.
Yeah, that sounds like Oberlin.
Yeah, that was generally like politics. It just didn't enter my worldview. I was studying classics, very involved with the dead.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, eventually we'll get to that, and you can learn the very boring reasons that the California governor was recalled and the wacky bullshit that happened afterwards.
Truly can't wait.
It'll be wonderful. It's going to be a couple of parts, but it'll be very worth it. And then I went to a new subject that I started studying for a bit, was reading a New Yorker article that was very, very good. And during the process, I started to realize that if I want to tell the story that I was initially working on, I got to go back further. I got to talk about the person who really kind of inspired the start of a particular political figure that we all know very, very well today. But I don't think this person would, I'm not going to say this person wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this guy, but this guy definitely set the stage for their rise and makes their existence make a lot more sense.
Roger Stone?
No. I mean, Roger Stone is slightly involved in this story. So I think I cut him out of all of it, but just imagine Roger Stone just like walking around in the background, like in the periphery, taking shrimp cocktail when no one's looking, stuffing it in his briefcase.
There's a Nixon tattoo in the corner of your eye, but then it's gone in a split second.
Yeah. Like it's the Bill Murray of tattoos.
Oh,
no one will believe you. So we're going to be going to Northwest Georgia, very specifically the 7th District. And we're going to be talking about a fellow by the name of Larry McDonald, a person who I had no clue any episode would ever be about.
Sure, it's a perfectly placid name.
I know, right? If you meet a Larry McDonald, he's either selling insurance, but not well. He might be the father to one of your friends, but not your best friend.
Yes.
I mean, Larrys don't get a lot done, I would assume. Like, they can be cable men, they can be basketball people.
But largely, they're middle management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a Larry who rose above, despite everything.
Oh, God.
So Lawrence Patton McDonald was born in Atlanta in 1935. And yeah, his middle name is because he was a distant cousin of World War II hero General George Patton. Very distant, but not distant enough for him to not bring it up every goddamn chance he could.
Oh, no.
This is
Larry.
That's why everyone called him Larry. Be like, you can call me Patton if you want. No, Larry. You're very clearly a Larry. So Larry was the son of a doctor, and he would grow up on the east side of Atlanta. And during his childhood, he attended a number of private and parochial schools. I'm not sure why he changed them so often, but it might have been pricing issues. But a thing that I think is important to bring up is that there was a huge boost in private schools in the South shortly after desegregation.
Yeah.
And it was a way for white people to continue to send their kids to a white school without having to, have them meet people of other races. And yeah, it was a very gross
and then vote against like any tax increments towards the public schools so that they just shriveled and died.
A tradition that continues till this day. But eventually he would end up having to go to a public high school, and he graduated at the age of 15. So we're dealing with one of these fuckers. If there's anything I think we've learned from this podcast, if you have graduated high school before the age of 16 and you enter politics, it's not a good sign.
100%. I also feel like the takeaway here should be for any younger listeners that like look into see if this is possible. Like, I just feel like I took for granted the 4-year rote necessity of staying in high school. And honestly, like, I should have found a loophole is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
gotten out of there.
Oh my God. Yeah, I get that. You mean like not being in high school for 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it just seems like it was so common the generation before us, where it's like you'd constantly hear of just like, yeah, then my mother, like, yeah, she graduated when she was 16, went to college, like did this amazing thing, but then had me and, just ended up raising a family, whatever. It's like, whoa, can we stop at the part where she graduated at 16?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I always wondered what form you had to fill out to be able to skip grades and just be like, look, I'm done. So destroy the school system. We're libertarians now. We're getting rid of the Department of Education.
No, I'm just saying, like, they kept telling me I had to take a health class.
Yeah.
And nothing I learned there, I could not have learned from picking up Our Bodies Ourselves. In fact, I would say that Our Bodies Ourselves was much more informative.
Yeah. I have to feel bad for sex ed teachers nowadays because like you can't compete with the internet. It's not.
Oh, that's so true.
Like you're just putting in secondhand knowledge that everyone else already knows more than you do for the most part.
I feel like the best thing you can do is just like remind them. It's like, hey, it's funny. If you go on Reddit, I'm sure you can look up a number of different contraceptive types.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you should legally because we're an abstinence only program. But if you find yourself in front of a computer, you can see if an IUD is maybe a better option for you.
Yeah. You could have one day where you bring in like some paranoid sounding lunatic who just walks in and is like, all right, today we're learning Internet Culture 101. Rule 1, trust no one. Rule 2, your name never enters the internet.
Genuine, this should honestly be health class now. It's like, don't go on Tumblr and tell Tumblr what triggers you. You're a fucking moron if you do that. Bullies will figure it out immediately and be like, hey, I know how to mentally disturb this stranger who's underage.
You know what? This might be our newest grift. I mean, jump.
Yes. Oh my God. We need to figure out how to, it's DARE, but we change what DARE stands for.
Oh my God. Here are all the jobs that no one has online. Modeling agent, band manager, band member, lead singer, guitarist. Anyone you know who is famous.
And that concludes our pitch for School of Rock 2, Rockin' Out Harder.
I'm just picturing a guy chewing on a stick the whole time. Oh man, we're talking about politics, right?
That's we are. So Larry,
much politics.
So Larry graduated early.
Yeah, oh my God, we're 2 sentences in. God damn it. So yeah, Larry graduates at 15, always a great sign. And from there, he went straight to Davidson College, where he got his bachelor's degree in history in only 2 years. And at the age of 17, he would enter into Emory University's School of Medicine and graduate with a degree in medicine at the age of 21.
Boo!
Yeah, this is the sort of overachieving bullshit that makes me very nervous whenever we're talking about someone. We saw it with Alan Keyes.
Yep.
We saw it with Horace Greeley. Yep. We're seeing it with all these motherfuckers. Take your fucking time. Take a gap year.
Yeah.
So after graduating with his degree in medicine, 2 years later, Larry would join the U.S. Navy, and he would work as a surgeon at Naval Air Station Keflavik in Iceland. And you know what? Fuck it. Life isn't moving fast enough already. So Larry got married to Anna Tigvadottir, which, fun thing.
Daughter of Tig.
Daughter of Tigva. And ended up having 3 kids in 2 years.
I'm sorry, what? He had of course he would have Irish twins.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Well, the thing, I don't know why this made me so irrationally mad, but of the 3 kids, only one of them got to have an Icelandic first name.
Oh, come on, man. You're up there.
I know. One of them got to be named Tigva, but that was it. And the other 2 was Elizabeth, Susan. I know Icelandic is not the easiest of languages, but it's easily the most fun to look at.
Absolutely. It's delightful. And so what? She's and then these kids are running around being like, I'm Susan, Larry's daughter. That just, that is
not Larry's daughter. Even if you're in Iceland, you can't call it Dutter. It had to be Larry's daughter.
But all one word.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ugh. But Iceland is where Larry would really find his true calling, and that's hating the fucking commies. You see, while he was working as a surgeon, Larry was growing more and more concerned that the US Embassy in Reykjavik was acting in ways that were too advantageous to the Soviet Union. And being the good American he was, Larry went straight to his commanding officer, who reportedly just told Larry that he couldn't see the big picture and just let it go, which is a really nice way of saying, hey Larry, that's above your pay grade surgery, man. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Larry reacted to this as all reactionary Americans do, by immediately thinking, maybe I do see the big picture and everyone else is wrong.
Oh no, because I graduated from med school at 21.
So by 1961, Larry had put in his papers for discharge from the Navy, and it seems also gotten divorced from his wife, who had grown beyond annoyed with his constant raving about commies. Because look, dude, you're in Iceland, notoriously one of the most relaxed countries on the face of the earth. And if you can't chill in the land of oceanic hot tubs and legally recognized fake communities, then you're going to be a real bummer pretty much anywhere you go.
Super neutral country we're talking here. Just no skin in the game, yep. Iceland.
Yeah. So it also didn't help that Larry seemed to have really weird rules about sex as well. Once telling Anna, quote, we're at war and people do not make love at wartime.
I'm pretty sure the world is ending and we should bang is a common thought during war.
That's half the movies about war.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, the thing too is Larry was also he was very abstinent in a lot of things. He rarely ever drank, absolutely never did any drugs. He totaled all the T's. He just had no interest in any form of debauchery whatsoever.
In my mind, in my headcanon, Larry is the Purity of Essence character from Dr. Strangelove.
That is the perfect person to have in mind for this.
Excellent.
100% perfect.
Excellent.
So Larry came back to America and began diving into the world of far-right politics, sometimes reading 2 to 3 books at the same time. And when he couldn't get his nearest family to join him in his new ideals, he joined a group of like-minded individuals who had a proper level of hatred towards communism. That's right. You know them. You love them. It's the John Birch Society.
No!
Now, the John Birch Society has its own extensive history that would take episodes to cover, so I'm going to give the Cliff Notes version here, which is still kind of long. So the group itself was created in 1958 in Indianapolis, Indiana, by retired candy maker Robert Welch Jr. Now, the group would take its name from Captain John Birch, an officer in the U.S. Army who most notably was one of the pilots who served in Doolittle's raid. By 1945, Birch was operating in northern China, tracking down the remaining Japanese commanders that had yet to surrender. Birch and his group would run into an army of 300 communist fighters who ordered Birch to surrender his weapons. He refused, and Birch was beaten, shot, and killed. The Society considered this moment to be the first time in which an American was killed by a communist and the first casualty of the Cold War. Also, it's probably easy to assume that the John Birch Society was founded by just a pack of paranoid yahoos. But in actuality, the founding members were wealthy as fuck and extremely powerful. Founding members included Harry Lind Bradley, whose Allen Bradley company is worth around $6.4 billion today, Robert Waring Stoddard, president of Wyman Gordon, a company worth a measly $752 million, and Fred Koch, the father of the notorious Koch brothers.
No!
Yep. The Koch brothers were members of the John Birch Society up until the 1970s themselves, but it started to be less cool to be a member of the John Birch Society around then, so they kind of went on their own ways.
Yeah, this sounds like if the January 6th insurrectionists if they were a family and had a family tree, this would be the the Hyannisport founding fathers.
But other than being against all communism, what all did the John Birch Society actually stand for? Well, against. They stood against a lot of things. Well, the short answer is any form of, quote, wealth redistribution, collectivism, totalitarianism, anarchism, socialism, the United Nations, OSHA, and any workers' rights or union movement, but also the civil rights movement, and anything associated with the Equal Rights Amendment to the Constitution. They actually fought hand in hand with Phyllis Schlafly and her Eagle Forum group to knock down the Equal Rights Amendment to keep it from getting ratified into the Constitution. So thanks, you fucks. But just to give you an even worse opinion of these fucks, let's just take a sentence from the Blue Book of the John Birch Society, which I think was a play on Mao Zedong's Little Red Book.
Boo.
So the Blue Book of the John Birch Society was a tome given to all new members. And at the beginning was this, quote, both the United States and Soviet governments are controlled by the same furtive, conspiratorial cabal of internationalists, greedy bankers, and corrupt politicians. If left unexposed, the traitors inside the U.S. government would betray the country's sovereignty to the United Nations for a collectivist New World Order managed by a one-world socialist government. Now, that is a lot to unpack.
It's a mouthful, for sure.
It's quite a bit. So one of the things that really peeks out to me as a studier of evangelical cinema, there's a lot of revelations in there. And a lot of this sort of John Birch Society narrative of the United Nations being the enemy and a one world government coming directly from them, you can see in almost every single movie about Revelations and the Tribulation, specifically Left Behind. Left Behind is probably the movie that features the United Nations, an organization that barely ever gets anything done, as a world conquering entity.
I would also like to point out regarding the Little Blue Book that this is truly an enemies to lovers moment of yeah, you hate communism. You hate communism so much. You're going to make your own special little book. That'll show them. And really what they want to do is make out with them.
Yeah, it is definitely, it feels like one of those moments where they should just fucking get it over with. Just fuck Mao, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Just look into each other's eyes. You've known it since the day you met.
I hate to say it, but the Blue Book of the John Birch Society might be the high watermark of conservative comedy.
Oh, speaking of John Birch and comedy in the same sentence, I cannot think of the John Birch Society without thinking of this incredible running gag in the show Sherman's Showcase. It was on IFC. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere for free, but people should totally find a way to watch it because it's this it's a pretend documentary about a pretend variety show called Sherman Showcase that's clearly a riff on Soul Train.
Oh my God.
It's great and it's so goofy, but in the documentary, the fake documentary, you learn that Sherman's Showcase was launched when the network decided that they needed Afro-American content and replaced the John Birch Comedy Hour with it. And every now and then they'll have a clip from the John Birch Comedy Hour.
Well, now I have to watch it.
It's so good.
Oh, fuck, I'll add that to the list.
So all of our listeners should totally watch it because now they will be in on the joke.
So the other thing before I forget is, I got to bring up the phrase cabal of internationalists, greedy bankers, and corrupt politicians. I mean, that's a lot of words for what I imagine to be an angry white guy sitting on his porch and grunting, Jews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. We, it's really the Marcel Proust of the Hemingway of what they're really thinking. Cut it down to its bone, guys.
Do a oh my god, I haven't done a oh god, who is that asshole? To do a Dennis Miller impression on top of that. Protocols of the Elders of Zion via Swan's Way. The only other shitty Dennis Miller joke I ever wrote on accident is this guy takes more baths than Jean-Paul Marat.
Jesus Christ.
2 jokes no one will like. Anyway, I'm sure Dennis Miller.
Politics. So we're talking politics.
Yeah, we're talking about politics, not doing terrible Dennis Miller impressions and worse jokes. Oh, and fun fact, the John Birch Society is actually still around today.
It's amazing.
They are based out of Grand Chute, Wisconsin, a city of about 22,000 people.
That's far too close. I would have assumed like somewhere outside of Orange County.
Oh my God, they wish they could move to fucking Anaheim and get based out of there, or like Huntington Park. They would be. Huntington Beach. They'd be so happy there. But no, they gotta stay close to family, I guess. So anyway, Larry McDonald had found a home in the John Birch Society in 1961, and he wasn't alone. That year alone, the group was estimated to have around 100,000 members. Now, Larry wouldn't be long for Atlanta. For a bit, he seemed to be more interested in doing missionary work in Africa, partially because, of course, he's an evangelical guy. That shouldn't be much of a surprise right now. But also because this was around the time that China began its heavy investment into the continent. And Larry viewed this as communism just inching its way into the continent. And he believed that if he went there to do mission work, that he could save the souls of the people spiritually and politically.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not great. So lucky for us, Larry would not go to Africa.
Yay!
Yeah, everyone's better off for it. Instead, though, he would go to the University of Michigan, where he would study urology.
Oh.
That's right. Larry's a piss doctor, which, look, I know urology is much deeper than that. Urologists do amazing work. They have to deal with a lot of very specific kind of cancers that are terrible and awful. But you know what? I'm the man who studied Larry McDonald for this, and I'm calling the man a piss doctor.
Yeah, because what he really wants is to take the piss out of communists.
Oh, God. Done. Fired. Done. Looking for new co-host. Rule.
Oh.
No. This is... I don't know why I get so mad at jokes like that whenever we're playing D&D. I still throw out puns like it's high comedy.
Because another D&D player hates them so much more. So it's just levels.
You know, I think I like written puns more than spoken puns, and that might actually just be the deal. Like I can write them, I can't say them. It's like Voldemort. Still run with that, sure. Anyway, so he goes to the University of Michigan. Larry's going to be a piss doctor. And funny side thing too, the place where I work, there's a one of my former coworkers went off to med school, and she came back for a bit. We were randomly talking about politics and how I was just bringing up how someone in Arizona was like a urologist who was running for Congress, and she immediately said, "Urologists shouldn't run for politics. I've known too many. They shouldn't do it."
Oh, amazing.
She just had very strong opinions on urologists in the government.
Well, I love it as this idea of like the different fields within medicine having very distinct personality types.
Yeah.
The same way that like friends of mine who play instruments professionally like have very strong opinions about oboe players or like
we get it. You bought a bassoon.
Yeah.
And so while he was there, Larry would make his first step ever into professional politics, running for a seat on the Ann Arbor City Council. And, you know, it went about as well as you think it would for an anti-communist in a college town.
Yeah, and of all college towns, Ann Arbor. The crunchy Big Ten school.
I actually didn't know that. I just think it was equally drinky.
Oh, it is. But I mean, you know, Peace Corps started there. It's always been a very like labor laws. The was it the Students for Democratic something?
Oh, right. Yeah.
They started at U of M. Yeah. Oh. Big lefties. Big old hippies.
Oh man, that was a really bad decision on Larry's part then.
So bad. Dumb move, Larry.
It's a real Larry move, dude. According to a friend of his, Larry often got heckled off stage at various events, mainly when his speech became too birchery and anti-communist. And you know what they say? If you can't stay on stage for a full speech, you're probably not going to win. And he didn't. Following his loss, Larry's friends stated the following, quote, "Initially, Larry did not respond well to this kind of abuse. The abuse he received in most of his career was unreal. I don't think people realize the degree of abuse and outright hate he was exposed to beginning as far back as 1962-63. But in the last decade of his life, when his powers were developed at their fullest, he demonstrated an ability to handle whatever came along. His enemies and detractors were, in fact, frustrated by his ability to handle himself in any public situation. He could just overwhelm anyone with his vast knowledge of a subject, and his appearance and genuinely gentlemanlike manner were a combination that made him invincible."
There's so much to unpack here.
Let's start. What are you thinking?
First of all, the language that makes him sound like Captain America. Like, calm down. And then secondly, the abuse, excuse me, you chose to run for office and people don't like you. If you quote unquote got stronger, it's because hopefully you grew a thicker skin. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what runs as abuse in the minds of these people is, it would be funny if it didn't enrage me so much.
Yeah, it's the fact that the guy said abuse in 3 straight sentences.
Yeah.
For one, that's just bad writing. For two, and more importantly, that I don't think people who have never suffered abuse really understand what that word means and the trauma that comes along with it. So when you use it as trivially as like a bunch of Wolverine kids booed me, that's not abuse. That's like, those are drunk 20-somethings having a time.
I just like, bottles weren't thrown at your head.
Yeah.
You were cornered in a domestic abuse situation.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
You didn't have Victoria Woodhull's upbringing. Shut the fuck up.
You just sit your ass down. Yeah. Not Vicky C.
I will raise Tennessee Claflin from the grave to beat your ass if you say this shit again. Yeah, someone's saying your ideas are bad. Boo.
Boo, you suck.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. But yeah, then that second half where he's just like, he learned how to make himself invincible. He became a child of the dark. He was raised by
It's a Christopher Nolan movie. Calm down. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, no, we got to ensure our purity through rainwater and vodka. And yeah, sure enough, when Larry returned to Northwest Georgia, he went there and he grew his piss medicine practice. And he got involved in local politics, where he was able to grow his name into an unstoppable force, mainly through combining his hatred of communism with his hatred of abortion. And it was a really big time with Roe v. Wade for him to start being all anti-abortion. Having a very strong voice for that. During this time, though, he was also getting real into the John Birch Society's newest craze, curing cancer. Now, you see, the group claimed that laetrile, a chemical found in apricot and peach pits, as well as almond seeds, was secretly the thing that could cure all cancer of any type. Now, this goes against studies in 1963 that found that laetrile worked about as well as doing nothing at all, but also noted that overdosing on the compound seemed to have the same effects as cyanide poisoning, mainly because there's cyanide in peach pits.
Yeah.
And granted, you would have to take a bunch of laetrile for that to happen. But let's just imagine for a moment that you're suffering from a really debilitating and scary form of cancer. Yeah. Someone hands you a bottle full of pills and they say, hey, this will cure your cancer. How much of those pills are you going to take and how quickly?
Fistful right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just munch them on down, and that's exactly what would cause cyanide poisoning. So luckily, the Supreme Court would step in, and in their ruling in US v. Rutherford, would make interstate transportation of laetrile completely illegal, pretty much ending its sale in one decision. The problem, though, is if you're in a state that has a lot of peaches, say like Georgia, you kind of have a direct line to it that doesn't need to go across states. So Larry became very fond of the idea that laetrile could, in fact, cure the multitude of cancers that he deals with as a urologist. And believing that, as the John Birch Society believed that it cured cancer, he started prescribing laetrile to all of his clients who had cancer.
Oh, no.
And so Larry would end up running into a bit of a problem with this because he prescribed it to a patient of his who eventually died of his cancer. And the widow of this patient ended up suing him for malpractice, which she ended up winning the case. And during that case, Larry was given the punishment of a few $1,000s and no jail time. But it also just so happened that around this time, he'd already quit practicing medicine.
You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah. I found a better job. Do you know what that job is, Una? Oh, no. Congress.
No.
So in 1972, Larry would make his return into politics by challenging incumbent Congressman John William Davis in the Democratic primary. And you see, this is around the time that Democrats in the South were very conservative. And Congressman Davis had been representing that little slice of racist heaven since 1961. But when you know it, people were starting to think that John Davis just wasn't suitably racist enough. So towards the early 70s, a lot of panicky white people started moving out of Atlanta and into the 7th District due to busing that was in the process of desegregating the public school system in the city. Now, in the 1972 election, Larry the urologist would end up losing by a little over 3,000 votes. But 2 years later, he would have his revenge. During the campaign, he painted Congressman Davis as being someone who wasn't actively fighting against desegregation and busing. And as more white people moved to the area, the larger Larry's support became. McDonald would defeat the incumbent congressman in 1974 and would begin his career as one of the most conservative federal legislators to date. Now, the 74 election in and of itself was really interesting because you ended up getting a ton of very liberal Democrats, mainly due to the Watergate scandal. But Larry was the one Democrat who was staunchly conservative.
Larry, God.
So in 1974, the United States Congress had a new anti-communist voice to the rabble. And during his 5-term career in Congress, Larry would be primaried every single year. But after winning a close runoff election in 1978, his victories became more substantial. More notably, though, was McDonald's voting record. The American Journal of Political Science would rate Larry as the second most conservative member of the House or Senate who served between 1937 and 2002, and was only topped by one man, Ron Paul. And the two of them were very good friends. Ron Paul, gynecologist, I believe.
God. Isn't he like an...
Oh, is he an obstetrician, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, he was an obstetrician.
Yes.
Yeah. Either which way, two shitty doctors with shitty opinions.
God.
Hanging out. So Larry was beloved by the American Conservative Union, the National Right to Life Committee, the Gun Owners of America, and the American Security Council. Each and every one of these groups would do a rating each year of how conservative a congressman or senator was. And almost every single year, Larry would get a perfect score of 100 out of 100 from all these groups. But you know what? What made him so conservative? Well, for one, he constantly talked about how former Senator Joseph McCarthy didn't do anything wrong.
Out loud. He said that out loud?
Out loud. He called Senator Joseph McCarthy one of his heroes. It gets worse. This is a baseline. It gets worse.
Right. That's where we're starting.
We're starting with Joseph McCarthy was an okay dude. He constantly fought for the end of every single Great Society program that Lyndon Johnson had passed, including all civil rights reforms, all welfare, all Medicare, Medicaid, the existence of PBS, rural development, and all housing programs. He called for the end of foreign aid in all of its forms, was against establishing Martin Luther King Jr. Day, mainly because he claimed that the FBI had proof that Dr. King was a communist. He was also against ending any form of gun control. He wanted to limit military service to only men, return to the gold standard.
Oh, there it is.
That's chestnut.
How's everyone's bingo card at home doing?
Is it a metal standard? Congratulations. Bingo. You've done it. Here's a gift card to Bennigan's.
Oh my God. It is non-redeemable in most states.
Oh no, because most states don't have a Bennigan's. Yeah, he also wanted to abolish the Federal Election Commission, which, look, every once in a while you're gonna get something right. It's fine. It's fine.
Spray out enough buckshot, you're gonna get something.
God damn it, Larry. You old son of a bitch. He wanted to abolish all laws in regards to political fundraising, but only for presidential candidates. And he wanted the U.S. to leave the UN. And in one of the more troubling, subtle things he did, along with a picture of his distant cousin George Patton, he also kept a picture of dictator Francisco Franco, who ruled Spain with an iron fist from 1936 to 1975.
Yeah, and he's a fascist.
I mean, I don't know. That's a pretty big accusation to level at someone, Una.
It's a known fact.
Look, just because someone has a bundle of sticks surrounding an axe as the symbol of their party doesn't mean...
This is exactly what I'm getting at with the blue book. It's just like, you just want to fuck. Like you actually love this.
Yeah, you want absolute power by just a different means. So yeah, for those of you who are blissfully unaware of Francisco Franco, he was absolutely a dictator, responsible for killing somewhere between 100 to 200,000 people. But he also holds a very special place in the hearts of John Birchers, mainly because, like them, Franco held a very strong belief that an international conspiracy of communists, Jews, were attempting to destroy his nation, and the Spanish Civil War was the ultimate culmination in destroying communists before they could take over Spain. And sure, it resulted in a Catholic corporatist dictatorship, but you're not communist, right? So you're welcome.
This is just so weird, and such weird bedfellows. Like, I don't know. Why not? Is it the Catholic part that they're like, no, this is cool. This is different from Mussolini. No, it's fine.
I mean, if it's good enough for Nick Fuentes, it's, of anything that came back from the 30s that I was not expecting, it was the desire for a Catholic dictatorship.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, this fondness for Franco and the things that Larry said would cause an anonymous Republican congressman to call him a fascist.
Yeah, good. Not even a slow clap, just like a little bit of a standing O for that one.
I wish I knew who it was. Like, what semi-cool 70s Republican did that?
My money would be, if not this, I think he was a senator though, but the George H.W.'s father. It's like Prescott Bush or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think he was like a cool Rockefeller.
I could see Rockefeller saying it, but Prescott Bush was part of the business plot and very much wanted to be a dictator.
Oh, I just assumed he was more of like a Romney's dad type figure, like a patrician Republican. All right, so Prescott Bush is out, probably Rockefeller.
Yeah, I could see one of the Rockefellers trying to be like, I'm not evil. This guy's a fascist. Now I'm gonna go take a money back.
As someone who probably lived through World War II, I think I have some authority to say this guy's a fucking fascist.
Wait a minute, I've seen this.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, because there probably are a lot of World War II veterans who are like, I'm conservative, but fuck that guy. I fought
Big
that guy.
time.
I
Big
stabbed that
time.
guy in a fucking trench.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I didn't withhold emotion from my kids for this generation of asswipes to bring fascists to my shores.
it took you what, 30, 25 years? You couldn't. I'm already in that John Mulaney voice. If you spent it already. Anyway, politics. So by 1977, Larry would be hit with a pair of controversies. First, you guessed it, he was still advocating for the prescription of Laetrile to patients with cancer. But he wasn't a doctor. He was just convincing his friends who were still doctors to prescribe it. But not only that, but a fellow doctor he worked with recommended patients pay for their Laetrile injections by writing their checks to the Larry McDonald for Congress campaign, something that is a crime.
Yes. What?
More seriously, though, is that allegedly the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms had got together a grand jury to indict Larry on gun running charges. Now, a lot of this comes from the Atlanta Constitution, the newspaper down there. So all of this comes from this. I'm just going to say allegedly, according to the Atlantic Constitution. So Larry owned upwards of about 200 guns, which I would say is a good 195 more than the maximum someone should have.
Oh, I mean, I would say it's 198 more than anyone should ever have. You only have two hands.
That's a very good point. I think if you have a museum, you get an exemption.
Yes.
If you have a collection and they don't really work,
fine.
Or you don't have the ammunition for them, sure. But you could peak out at 10, maybe 20. It just depends.
Yeah.
I think it's a case-by-case basis of what your goals are. But yeah, so he had about 200 guns, and he had been accused of tricking patients who were all hopped up on Laetrile treatments, which would make people kind of hazy and, cyanide-y, and would get them to sign firearm purchase forms under their own names to hide the number of guns that Larry really owned.
Oh my God. So definitely at least 195 more than is legally. What?
Yeah.
Sure. Because at a certain number, it's going to start looking like a militia.
The ATF is going to have at least one question for you once you hit like 10 guns.
And that question is, why?
Because? Okay.
All right.
And then at 20, it's like, are you a cult leader? I'm like, no? Okay. At 30, how many deer have you angered? So yeah, and Larry would admit, yeah, I own a lot of guns, and sure, they're mostly located at my campaign headquarters, which used to be my urology practice.
Oh boy.
But it's important that they're all there because, quote, this is a quote, it was in anticipation of a possible communist invasion or insurrection in the United States, which is the answer you give the ATF when you hit 200 guns.
Noted.
This is not legal advice. However, he didn't really have an answer for the Atlanta Constitution as to why he then sold a number of those guns, or why so many of his associates told the paper that Larry was the guy you go to if you needed a gun that was untraceable.
Oh my God. I'm blinded by red flags.
Yeah. So this is fraud. This is gun running. This is at minimum drugging your patients. I'm sure there are many other crimes being committed right now. And you guessed it, a grand jury got put together and no charges were filed.
No!
Not a one.
Oh, God.
Larry and his new wife, Catherine, would state that the newspaper was just making things up to ruin his reputation, but they never sued them for libel. So,
yeah, hate to do that paperwork.
Libel's hard to prove, but But Larry's biggest accomplishment would be the creation of the Western Goals Foundation, which was created to, quote, rebuild and strengthen the political, economic, and social structures of the United States and Western civilization, so as to make any merger with totalitarianism impossible. What do you hear when you hear that? Can you translate that to anything?
No, because they're already like loving up on Franco. So I just like,
a totalitarian.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, it was also created to eventually become its own private FBI to fight anyone that Larry McDonald thought was a fucking communist.
This is so insane.
So initially, the group was just a bunch of folks who used to work on the House Committee for Un-American Activities, or HUAC. For those of you who don't know, HUAC existed from 1945 to 1975, and predominantly existed to root out communist sympathizers and spies amongst the American public, but mostly succeeded in ruining the lives of dozens of innocent Americans and terrorizing the public into compliance. The most well-known example of this would be the Hollywood 12, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
A multitude of folks and writers in Hollywood who were accused of being communists and without any evidence were blacklisted from the industry.
The idea being like give names.
Yep.
Or you're obviously a communist.
Exactly. So, you know, Larry's kind of people. And he gave these former HUAC folks their own room in his congressional office and let them get back to working on hunting down leftists that threatened America from baseballing an apple pie or something. Apparently, the way that it was set up was the office in his congressional office was the door to get in was separate from the front door. So at no point could you ever look into his office and see what these people were up to.
God.
So eventually the group would move to their own physical location in Alexandria, Virginia. They'd hire a much larger staff and build a library of 6,000 books, pamphlets, and articles written by themselves detailing the dangers of past, present, and future subversive movements. But according to former Western Goals employee Mary Jo Buckland, something didn't really seem quite right.
Yeah, who can write that much?
Alexander Hamilton, Stephen King, Danielle Steele, no one else.
James Patterson.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
4 people.
It's a short list.
It's a short list.
So, for one, the organization seemed to be growing really, really fast. So much so that they suddenly had a pair of new offices in West Germany and Austria. Second, money to support this new foundation seemed to be mostly coming from Germany. Third, the Germans who funded the organization never once came to America. According to Mary Jo, she and the organization's accountant would fly out to Germany and meet with this group who would then give them money. And they always seemed to be both old and decorated with multitudes of medals. The Politico article that mentions this also notes that Larry McDonald had advocated for the release of Nazi war criminal Rudolf Hess.
I knew it.
And during a local debate had mentioned that Hess should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Hess.
Yep. Deputy Führer of Nazi Germany, Rudolf Hess.
Someone who I guess managed to evade the Nuremberg trials?
Oh, no, he got arrested before the Nuremberg trials. What he did was Hess traveled to Scotland to try to negotiate peace between the United Kingdom and Germany, and they immediately arrested his ass. And then spent the rest of his life in prison.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a good move. It was a very good move.
Let's give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, yeah, and the reason that he wants to give him the Nobel Peace Prize is because he tried to negotiate peace between England and Germany. He tried to stop the war.
Wanking motion.
There it is. And look, I'm just saying, if there was ever a second place for people that the Nazis hated the most, I think communists could make a very compelling argument.
Oh, 100%.
So, in so many words, yeah, the Western Goals Foundation seems to have been founded and funded by Nazis.
They were absolutely laundering Nazi gold. Yes. 100%.
Oh my God, I didn't even connect that they're laundering Nazi gold.
It's like, yeah, we'd love to hold on to this for you in our Alexandria, Virginia lobbying offices.
God, I feel so innocent and dumb that I didn't think of that. Of course they have an office in Austria. It's where they keep the money.
That's where the gold is.
God damn it. So according to Mary Jo Buckland, who made it very clear that she had no clue what the foundation was doing most days, that she was just like, it seems like they're just trying to do advocacy and lobbying. It's just a regular job. And then she started noticing Nazis everywhere.
God.
That the primary goal of the organization was very clear: to maintain a large computer database of every single person and organization who may be aligned with communists. And this information would be gained by contacting police departments across the nation to gain any information they had on local political troublemakers. And the thing is, doing terrible shit at such a high level always attracts other terrible people who want in. And within a couple of years, the board of Western Goals had grown to include the inventor of the hydrogen bomb, Edward Teller, founding member of the CIA, John Singlaub, and historical monster, Roy Cohn.
Oh my God. Like you hope as someone in the original coterie of Western Goals saw Roy Cohn. It was like, I think the party has ended and I need to leave now.
Yeah. I hate to say it. If you are in a room of a group that you have joined, whether it's an organization, a political party, or even a supper club, and Roy Cohn shows up and people are happy, you're going to hell. I'm sorry. Them's the rules.
That's when you realize you are in hell.
Yeah. You have.
There was a traffic accident. You are no longer among the living.
Oh my God. That's why I'm in a Wisconsin supper club and the roast beef is undercooked. I should have known.
The beer is so flat. This is terrible.
God. I'm in Grand Chute, Wisconsin, and I fucked up.
We keep talking about going to the Dells after this.
No.
This can't be right. I thought I lived a good life.
Everyone keeps saying they forgot their swim trunks, but it's okay. They have a t-shirt. Oh man, we're never going to be allowed in Wisconsin. Yeah, so Roy Cohn's there on the board, but also so are 3 sitting congressmen, 2 4-star generals, a former head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff,
and a distant cousin of Patton's,
and Satan him fucking self. As they say on Knowledge Fight, the literal Christian devil is sitting at the table. And even worse, once you actually start getting big name people, by default, people start taking you seriously. So most notably, the huge turn would come when an article written initially by Western Goals was reprinted word for word in Reader's Digest, and then quoted directly by President Reagan as proof of an ongoing communist plot to ruin America.
Oh no, this is some 2 o'clock Fox News repeating the 6 o'clock Fox Celebu hour as news. Oh boy.
Well, and as I'm sure was everyone's job back then, all the staffers immediately started scrambling to be like, President Reagan does not get his information from Reader's Digest. He got it from the Joint Chiefs. He got it from the Department of Defense. He got it from all these places.
His hands were sticky from the jelly beans, and he picked up the Reader's Digest. It was stuck to his hand, and then he just opened it. I'm not saying it's just that it's what happened, and then he was out at the podium. This
was later to have been found to be a lie. And yes, Ronald Reagan got the information from Reader's Digest.
Oh boy.
So that same year, the State Department referred to an FBI report that came directly from Western Goals as a reason to name the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, a pacifist organization in America, as a Soviet-fronted group. They would then threaten to sue, and the State Department would have to retract that statement.
Good.
It should also be noted that that particular organization was founded by Jane Addams, one of the most foreknown suffragettes of our time.
It all connects.
It's so trash.
I smell a crossover.
It's such trash. So the Boston Globe would later come to find out that Western Goals publications had become heavily circulated within organizations such as the DEA, the ATF, the FBI, the CIA, and in police departments all across the country, making Western Goals its own branch of privatized intelligence.
Oh, no. You know what's even worse is that the more I hear the name Western Goals, the more I see it with a hashtag in front and like a toxic positivity Instagram account.
It feels like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like if you were really keen on everyone having straightened hair, you would put hashtag Western Goals.
Oh God. Or maybe you owned like a resort and golf club out in Phoenix.
Oh God, yeah.
Western Goals.
Like it doesn't always have to be subtly racist, but it always is.
It always is, yeah.
So how did all these organizations get this information? Western Goals circulated a newsletter detailing people and groups they believed to be communist sympathizers, whether true or not. But because Larry would always take the newest edition and enter it into the congressional record, they never got in trouble. You see, this is because congressmen were immune from lawsuits derived from statements they made on record, which would then give Western Goals free rein to quote Larry's statements without fear of ever being sued for libel.
I am furious.
It is some trash. It's also noted that Larry almost never spoke in front of Congress, that his entire career was almost always just submitting paperwork into the record and then leaving.
This is such bullshit.
But even following this success, Larry was about to get a next level accolade. And in 1982, he was elected to be the first new president of the John Birch Society after Robert Welch Jr. stepped down. And he celebrated this by getting a brand new license plate that simply said JBS1.
Ew.
And yes, the car was a black Mercedes.
Ew. Well, he had to buy German.
Yeah, I mean, oh God damn it. I feel like if you have a license plate that says JBS1, it's just magnetically attracted to the opposite side of keys. You just run across the side. Like the ghost of Fred Hampton's just constantly kicking it. So despite all this success, Larry seemed to be growing more and more paranoid that the Russians are coming after him. I mean, he's become the big name. He's the head of the Western whatever. I keep forgetting it because I keep wanting to say other bullshit Western Goals.
Western Goals.
I keep wanting to say
Goals
Western Feels.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, I'm the head of Western Goals. I'm the head of the John Birch Society now. As Alex Jones says, I'm the tip of the spear. The Russians have got to be trembling in my boots when they hear the name Larry McDonald.
McDonald. Larry Patton McDonald.
Oh my God. And so according to Larry's brother, he began wearing a bulletproof vest everywhere he went. He started hoarding purified water and dehydrated food in his living room, which look, basement makes sense. If you are hoarding end of the world supplies in your living room, all that tells me is you ran out of closet space.
Yeah. The disturbing feature is what we can't see.
And he ended up buying up huge chunks of silver for the impending crash of the dollar or society, whichever came first. Which for a dude who loves the gold standard, I don't know why you're hoarding silver.
It was cheaper.
I mean, that's fair. Hoarding silver is kind of the John Birch thing. They love Light Trail and they love hoarding silver.
What good is silver if society collapses? Like you're better off with peaches, not even the peach pit.
No,
food.
You see, society can end, but capitalism's always going to be there. People always want shinies. And, silver does a lot of things. It's shitty armor. It holds 10 pounds of weight, maybe.
I guess.
You could huck it at squirrels.
Or food.
Yeah. Now then the squirrels just start taking silver. Start their own society, make their coinage, and that's how the squirrels take over. Damn it, John Birch. And I get it. You're running your own counterintelligence agency. You probably do have a few enemies and a couple of reasons to worry. Such as, I don't know, hypothetically, let's just say there's an LAPD cop who works with you on gathering info on leftists. And let's just say that he gets caught with about 180 boxes of evidence, including 500,000 pages of affidavits and dossiers. And oh, wait, that happened.
What?
You see, this is how Western goals started to fall apart.
The decline of Western goals.
Hashtag Western fails. So there's an LAPD cop by the name of Jay Paul, and Jay Paul's been in the LAPD for a long fucking time. And the city of Los Angeles passed a law in 1975 that said, once evidence gets to be a certain age, get rid of it, destroy it. We don't need it anymore. The court cases are done. People have served their time. No reason to keep it. And Jay thought to himself, there's going to be some fucking communists in that information. And so instead of destroying the information, he started taking it home.
Oh my God.
But to make things even more fucked up is he contacted Western Goals to let them know he had the information. And they responded by giving him a computer system valued at around $100,000. And the system was so big that they couldn't really keep it in his house, so they put it in his wife's law practice and paid her a salary of $30,000 a year for, quote, maintenance fees.
AKA, please keep quiet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was hush money. And so Jay would just take all that information, put it into the computer, which had a direct connection to the Western Goals office in Alexandria, Virginia. It was a direct line.
So he was essentially digitizing these records, which would have been nice for the LAPD to think about.
A little bit.
God damn
Not a bad idea. Yeah, according to Mary Jo Buckland, according to her, they did have someone on staff to digitize those records. Apparently, it was one person. Yeah, not a great job for data entry. That is a long day. So eventually, people found out. And when the LA Times found out and confronted Paul with the evidence, he didn't deny shit. He was actually really proud of it and stated that his superiors both knew and encouraged his involvement, paying for him to go out to Alexandria, Virginia, and to get trained in how to use the computer. He also hooked up the computer in the LAPD's intelligence unit directly to the Western Goals server, so his coworkers could access their database of commies while on the clock.
No!
And when the Times found a second cop at the LAPD doing the same with old evidence, they found a third.
No!
It was apparently such an open secret that this is what they were doing with the evidence that no one thought they were doing anything wrong.
Oh my God.
And so many police departments were doing this across the country. Everyone just figured it was fine. And as all things ACAB, the LAPD looked into the matter and found Jay Paul innocent of all wrongdoing, except a minor count of misconduct. Tisk, tisk.
Not at everything preceding it. My jaw's on the floor.
So
that last part is, yes, that is par for the course. Yeah. I would be shocked if anything different happened.
So the ACLU took this verdict into consideration and responded by filing a lawsuit on behalf of a bunch of LA-based organizations that had been listed in evidence stolen by Paul, but also celebrities that had been listed as potential communist sympathizers, including Joan Baez, Jackson Brown, Richard Dreyfuss, Norman Lear, Bonnie Raitt, Susan Sarandon, and Studs Terkel.
Wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, reps of Western Goals flew out to LA, physically took the computer system back to the East Coast, and flat out refused to release them to the courts, to which there were zero consequences.
I'm freaking out. Okay.
Yeah. The Politico article, I think, stated it perfectly. This is the story of a man who created his own deep state.
Yes. Yeah. He did it. Yeah. It's done.
And not that fucking long ago.
Really not.
So the LAPD would settle their suit with the ACLU, and Jay Paul would be reinstated into the LAPD, where he would eventually retire in 1995. In late August of 1983, Congressman McDonald would be preparing to travel to Seoul, South Korea to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the U.S.-South Korean Mutual Defense Treaty. And he'd be doing so alongside other very conservative senators, Jesse Helms, Senator Steve Sims of Idaho, and Congressman Carol Hubbard of Kentucky. Now, Larry was scheduled to leave on August 28th, but bad weather rerouted his flight out of Atlanta to Baltimore and then to New York. Eventually, Larry got to JFK, but he ended up missing his connecting flight by 3 minutes.
Oof, hate that.
It's the worst feeling. Now, Larry had a choice. He could either take a Pan Am flight to Seoul that day, or he could take a Korean Airlines flight 2 days later. And since Korean Air was a cheaper flight, Larry just chilled out in New York City for a couple of days, which I'm sure he had a terrible time. It's a city where no one likes you. There's probably nothing to do that you would enjoy, but you're doing it because it's cheaper.
Yes. And this, like, what year are we in?
This would be 1983.
83? Yeah. So New York's a dump as well.
That's true. That is true.
You could still afford an apartment on Manhattan.
Yeah. And as a guy who doesn't drink, like literally, what are you going to do in New York City? It's not like you could even stay at the airport for 2 days.
Where are you going to go to Central Park? What? Look at the homos?
You're just going to yell at people all day, just call random passerbys communists, which would just make you fit into New York City in some ways. But
yeah, I mean, he would fit in as the crazy person yelling on the street.
I'm a piss doctor, you fucking communist.
Hey, fuck you then, piss doctor.
Call me Patton, you fuck. I love this town.
Continues eating his snow cone.
Yeah, of course he's eating a snow cone. What flavor? Plain. So a couple
water flavored.
So a couple of days pass of him yelling at strangers and eating snow cones, allegedly. And he's finally back at the airport. He hops on his new flight. So the plane took a scheduled refueling stop in Anchorage, Alaska. And they assumed it would be like an hour, 2 hours to refuel. And they gave folks the option of like, you could disembark the plane, chill out at the airport for a bit. Or if you want, you could just sleep on the plane. Either's fine. Pre-9/11 airports, they were kind of great.
Yep.
And Larry decided, like a human being, I guess, I'm going to sleep on an airplane. Which, I mean, he was flying first class, so that does make it easier to sleep on a plane instead of trying to sleep at a 90-degree angle. So he's chilling out on the airplane while everything's refueling. And it just so happens that while he's waiting in Anchorage, another Korean air flight landed carrying Senator Helms. The senator found out that Larry's flight was pretty much next to his, and he sent a messenger saying, hey, go get Larry. Tell him if he wants, he can come onto my plane. We can, chit-chat and shit. It'll be totally fine. We can hang out. Messenger gets to the plane that Larry's on, nudges the sleeping congressman, to which the congressman says, I don't want to be disturbed. And the messenger's like, all right, fine. I'll tell the senator.
Message received.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I get it. You're taking a long fucking flight. If you finally fell asleep and some guy's just like, the senator would like to hang out with you. And you're like, I am so tired of smelling Senator Holmes's old man breath and hearing about the Civil War again.
I am already cranky as an individual. This is not helping things.
There is no one sitting next to me in first class. It's literally like I'm on a sofa in the sky. Fucking go. And so funny enough, Senator Helms's flight would leave before Congressman McDonald's flight. It would end up being another 3 hours before everything was refueled and they got a new crew to fly it. And so at 4 a.m. in Anchorage, Alaska, the flight would take off for its final trip to Seoul.
Doesn't he have to be somewhere?
Like, he does. He very much has to be somewhere, and he's constantly taking the longer option, whether he means to or not. But this is where things kind of take a turn, because while the plane was in the air, the pilots made the costly error of accidentally flying over Monoran Island, which, as would have it, was owned by Russia. And being an airplane entering foreign airspace unannounced, not really, and they shot the plane down.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
So Larry's fears actually came to fruition. He manifested his own Russian debacle.
Yeah. All 269 passengers and crew were killed.
Oh my God.
McDonald.
Oh my God.
Initially, the Russians would just completely deny that it happened.
Sure.
They tried spreading the rumor that, no, the plane landed. It is in Seoul. He's fine. Nothing happened. He's good.
Plane landed okay. You make up ghost.
He's fine. Don't worry about it. I hate you. But when shoes and airplane parts started washing up on the shoreline, people had questions.
Oh my God. I mean, my heart is like
269 people. Yeah.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah. So essentially what happened was, the plane did enter Soviet airspace. The pilot that was sent out to shoot down the plane, his official statement was, it was very clearly a passenger plane, but we're kind of in a Cold War right now. And in the past, people use commercial airliners to do all sorts of shady shit. Also, it wasn't my job to question. They told me to do it. I did it.
Right.
And so a huge international crisis began to unfold. But as most lucky moments of the Cold War, the Americans and Soviets backed each other away from the edge. America would use it as an opportunity to place missiles a little bit closer to Russia. Russia would admit would, in their kind of own way, admit they fucked up and were just like, fine, we lost this portion of the war. We're just going to let this happen, and we're both going to step away. This, of course, though, didn't stop Larry's people or Western goals from making it all about themselves. You see, both groups would claim that the plane was shot down solely because Larry was on board. I kind of get it. He is the most outspoken politician against Russia in America. He's on a plane that the Russians shot down. It's begging for a conspiracy.
Like, if anything, he's down in hell looking up, being so mad he can't use his own martyrdom.
I know. It's such a waste of martyrdom. But the other thing is, we know the path that he took to get there. If it was a Russian plan to shoot him down, the person tracking him must have been so frustrated the whole goddamn time.
And would have had to be with him the whole time.
Yeah. The amount of work that would have had to have gone into anticipating this guy would be too cheap to take a better and sooner flight would just not go to the plane that carried a senator. Also, if you're going to shoot down a plane where a senator is there, I mean, there are various targets. It's just, there's so much going on that it was just very clearly a fuck up. But Western Goals would end up suing the USSR for $200 million, but that suit would be dismissed because it's kind of hard to sue whole nations.
Yeah, bite me.
Yeah. And terrible fact about this, the downing of this flight became the inspiration for Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA.
No!
Yep. So thanks for that, communism.
Yeah, fuck you, communism.
Really fucking appreciate that. So throughout his congressional career, Larry would introduce 175 bills. Only 2 would garner more than 100 co-sponsors, both of which were his attempts to reinstate HUAC, once in 1979 and once in the 1980s. His other 2 more supported bills were a bill to stockpile silver, which got 47 co-sponsors, and a bill to limit the regulation of vitamin and mineral products for over-the-counter sale, which I'm assuming included Latrial, and this only got 28 co-sponsors. Also, it should be noted, out of all of his introduced bills, none of them even ever came up for a vote. They all died in committee.
As well they should.
Yeah. There were some really dumb fuck bills that he put forward. It was...
That's the system working.
Yeah. Like, Larry, no. So in the wake of Larry's death, a special election would be held, leading to a runoff between the much less hardline conservative Democrat State Representative Buddy Darden, and you know what we say here, always trust a buddy, and Larry's widow, Catherine McDonald, which gives me an opportunity to talk about something real quick as we get towards the end here, a real fun thing in American politics called a widow's appointment. So in the early 1900s, when a married politician passed before the end of their term, their widows were often given their seat. The idea behind this was it would be a way for the woman to have a financial stability following the death of her husband. But the deal was she would be expected not to run for re-election, which for a while was exactly what happened. And when that stopped happening, that's how we ended up having women in politics for longer.
Wow.
But this is how we got the majority of first women in politics. That's how we got the first female governor with Nellie Taylor Ross. But yeah, our first female congresswoman, all because of the widow's appointment. But even today, this is something that's still very common. Most recently in Louisiana, Republican Congressman-elect Luke Letnow died of COVID, and not 1 month ago, his wife Julia won the special election to take his seat. In Texas, the exact same thing is happening with recently deceased Republican Congressman Ron Wright, who also died of COVID, and currently his wife Susan appears to be the frontrunner in the crowded race to fill his seat.
Wow.
So a long way of saying that Catherine McDonald entering the primary and performing well enough to force a runoff isn't that out of the ordinary. And weirdly enough, she had a complete unknown nemesis in this race. This came out of complete left field for me. You see, prior to the election, pornographer Larry Flynt had been shot by a white supremacist who was angry that Flynt made interracial porn. Flynt survived, but he was paralyzed for the rest of his life. And for some reason, he believed that Catherine McDonald was behind the assassination attempt on his life.
This is crazy on top of crazy. This is just like a Mobius strip of nuts.
It's so bonkers. It's so Larry put a fuck ton of money into the race, running ads against Catherine and financially supporting Buddy Darden's campaign every chance that he could. And in the end, like all good buddies, Darden defeated Catherine.
Wow. Sorry, Catherine.
As for the Western Goals Foundation, well, it would be taken over for a short time by board member Roy Cohn. Yeah, he wouldn't stay for very long, though, because he had other shitty things to do and then die of AIDS. So during this time, they refocused their efforts on funding anti-communist militias. Predominantly, they found one in Nicaragua they really liked called the Contras. And by 1985, they funded a 2,000-person brigade that had been given the honorific name of the Larry McDonald Task Force. They even began working with National Security Council staffer Oliver North to funnel guns to the Contras, and oh no, you did a crime!
Oh, and oh no, we are very aware of what happens next.
Congratulations, Western Goals Foundation. You're now part of the Iran-Contra scandal. This kills the Western Goals. After this, they lost everything.
This is the dick stepping to end all of their dick stepping.
Stepped square on their dicks and fell face first into a $100,000 computer.
Oh my God.
And for the next few decades, things would be mostly kind of normal for the 7th District in the northwest part of Georgia. Buddy Darden represented them for 5 terms, during which time he existed as more of a traditional conservative. He was anti-choice, pro-death penalty, pro-military spending, but did state if America was ever not at war, the money that we would have spent for war should be paid towards the deficit. He called it a peace dividend.
It's a dumb buddy.
It sucks that this is an improvement, but here we are. And he voted in favor of many bills that help support Georgia businesses. But despite this, he never got the same hyper-adoration from conservative orgs that Larry McDonald had. The American Conservative Union, who year after year gave Larry a perfect 100 for 100, on average gave Buddy a score of 35. The thing, though, is history is one of those things that goes in cycles. It's my favorite Mark Twain quote. Hopefully it's not one of those Facebook bullshit things of, history doesn't repeat, but it sure as hell rhymes.
Nice.
And, districts seldom have back-to-back versions of Larry McDonald, but the odds of a new one bubbling up is always a possibility. It just takes the right combination of shitty luck. Something like, a heavy gerrymandered district, or a local wing of the Democratic Party that suffers from eternal dumb luck. maybe a president that encourages the worst in everyone shows that what people really want is someone just like him. So I guess maybe it just kind of makes sense that the same region that gave us Piss Dr. Larry McDonald also gave us the subject of our next episode, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No.
This is the long story of how it actually makes sense that we got Marjorie Taylor Greene as a congresswoman from this particular area. I'm so sorry, Una. I warned you that this would be coming, but I didn't tell you how.
Oh my God.
So I was so mad because I was going into this episode being like, this is going to be our Marjorie Taylor Greene episode. We're going to it's going to suck, but we're going to have fun occasionally.
We're going to grit our teeth and do it.
And then I started reading about Larry, and all of a sudden when I was done writing about him, I was at 5 pages and I'm like, well, fuck, now this is about him.
No, this is so good. This is so why are we not learning this in high school? Oh my God.
It is so unreal to me that this happened in the early 80s, that there was just a private organization hunting down leftists, and they were in conjunction with the cops, with the FBI, with everyone who had some sort of power to arrest people, and they were just allowed to do this. It's mind-bending. And yeah. Oh, man. Well, I hope you had at least a slightly enjoyable moment with Piss Dr. Larry McDonald.
Yeah, I mean, I need to go take a scalding hot shower and hug my knees now.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
Yeah, I feel like we need to give everyone in Northwest Georgia a hug and be like, guys, there's another way. Let's just have some fun. Let's have a calm time. You don't need to keep sending these people to Congress.
Please stop. I'll pay for your therapy.
Well, on that note, I look forward to talking to y'all again. I hope you enjoyed this one. And as always, see you next time on Gadfly. Don't be a urologist.
Nazi gold.
Nazi gold? Why did Nazi gold have to make an appearance? Gadfly is a production of Added Serotonin. Our episodes are edited by Brianna Valentine of Rem Alternus Productions. Our theme song is Sophomore Makeout by Silent Partner, and you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at GadflyPod.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?